Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyler. Welcome back to another episode of Your Movie Fix. Wow, I don't even know where to start with today's news. There were a couple things that I planned on talking about, and it looks like we're going to have to add a topic to that. So, over the past few days, it looks like we've got a lot of rumors to talk about from Flashpoint starring Ezra Miller. So, there's quite a few things that came out from various sources, various outlets that are reporting on things. So, everything that we're about to talk about here with Flashpoint is all not finalized, but there have been a lot of hints to it happening. So each piece of news kind of has its own bit of credibility. So we've got Jeffrey Dean Morgan looking to reprise his role as Thomas Wayne, as Flashpoint Batman, who is of course Thomas Wayne, not Bruce, in the timeline where Flash goes back in time, kind of ruins everything. So that seed has been planted for quite a while since Zach cast him as Thomas in BVS. Now, was the goal to always have him play Thomas Wayne Batman? Maybe. I mean, at the time, Flashpoint was kind of on the table, so that's very likely. And again, this is just in talks. However, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's wife, she did retweet the story about him being in talks for it and just kind of hinted at it, that it's actually happening. So there's no real reason for him to be like in talks of, are you playing Thomas Wayne or somebody else? It would be Thomas Wayne for sure, is who he would be if he comes back. And then we've got Ray Fisher, who is rumored to be coming back as Cyborg. And if you know the story of Flashpoint, Cyborg actually plays a pretty big role in that film, with helping Barry kind of fix everything. And not to mention, basically every version of the Flash script that we've been hearing rumors of has kind of included Cyborg, which only made sense based on their relationship that kind of got established in Justice League. And I know we're going to get to see more of that coming up. So this is all, going to open the doors for the multiverse, really. Well, what really did that was the Crisis event on the CW shows of Flash and Supergirl, when Ezra Miller appeared on screen with Grant Gustin. And that was kind of said to be the moment where it was all set in motion, that Jim Lee has kind of been orchestrating this live action multiverse idea, and that could be what we're getting. So with this idea of the multiverse, there was a much bigger story that kind of had more credibility to it today, and that is that Michael Keaton is going to be coming back as Bruce Wayne and Batman in the Flashpoint movie. So we've got Thomas Wayne, Flashpoint Batman, and Bruce Wayne, played by Michael Keaton. And this is coming from The Wrap. It's coming from Hollywood Reporter. This is actually coming from multiple trades, that this is actually happening, that he's in talks for it. It's not signed. It's not a done deal. So there are a lot of implications that come with this. And this is what we're really going to speculate on, because there is nothing hard. There are no hard facts on this as to what Michael Keaton's actual role is going to be. So I gathered together a couple of comments from the people reporting on this. So we've got Sean O'Connell from Cinema Blend, who had this to say, that he was in London for the Birds of Prey, either premiere, I'm guessing, or a set visit, and he happened to run into Andy Muschietti outside of hotel. Andy is the director for Flashpoint, and he said he chatted and that he mentioned working on Flashpoint, and he asked if Jeffrey Dean Morgan would be returning, and he smiled and said, we actually have a different idea. And now the story is breaking with Michael Keaton. So how credible is the story with Jeffrey Dean Morgan? Honestly, this is all kind of crazy, because for all we know, I mean, they could actually bring Michael Keaton to play Thomas Wayne, because it's an entirely different universe. It doesn't matter. He could be that Flashpoint Batman. He could be. Or what if he is playing, they are doubling down with multiverse, and we get to see a return of the Burtonverse. So we could have, the standalone movies like Joker and Robert Pattinson's. We could have the Snyderverse, let Zack finish up his Justice League movies and be done. We could have the Burtonverse going on, and then whatever this new timeline is going to be after Justice League. Honestly, it's all kind of a mess right now, because we don't actually know where it's going. Maybe it's not a real mess, but it looks like one. So there's talk that Michael Keaton is going to be replacing Ben Affleck as the DCEU Batman. He wouldn't be playing, like, replacing a recast of Ben's Batman with Jeremy Irons Alfred. I don't see a chance in hell that that is actually happening. Could his Batman be brought in to the main universe, basically the Snyderverse? I don't know. But Boris Kitt of the Hollywood Reporter, he had this to say: if these talks make, sources say that Keaton would end up playing Batman in a mentor capacity, like Sam Jackson's Nick Fury, and appear in multiple movies. Batgirl is one of the possible projects. So this makes it sound like it's a far bigger deal than just appearing as a cameo or small role or large role of just Flashpoint that he could be coming in. So does that mean he's going to be in the DCEU? Does that just mean that they're going to have a self-contained Burtonverse continuing? Like I said, there's so many implications. What could we do? Could we have Batman Beyond in the Burtonverse with Batgirl, the Robins? There are so many possibilities, but really, let's remember that everyone complained that Ben Affleck was too old to play Batman, and they painted themselves into a corner with having a 45-year-old Batman. And now you're telling me that people are going to be open to the idea of a 70-year-old Batman. I get it. He's not going to be, fighting crime and doing the thing. He's going to be serving the role of, like, essentially the Batman Beyond version of Bruce Wayne. But you can only continue that on for so long, and I'm more inclined to believe that they're continuing the Burtonverse in a way, and less so bringing him into the Snyder timeline. To me, that just makes a little less sense. So many different avenues that they could be going here, and I don't really know what to think of it. I hope that it would be just a role in Flashpoint, and you can have that Bruce Wayne Batman, and you can have the Thomas Wayne, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Just because Flash is going back, this is not a direct adaptation of Flashpoint. We could just be seeing Flash go into multiple timelines. These could be cameos. These could be quick, small roles. We don't really know. For all we know, we can get a Into the Spider-Verse kind of thing, where we have multiple Batmen working with Flash here, which is actually a concept that was introduced in the DC Universe online game. There was a DLC called the Nexus of Reality and stuff, where they had multiple Batmen and multiple Lex Luthors from different timelines and universes coming together, and they stop Brainiac. So could we be seeing something like that, bringing in multiple Batman at one single time to help the Flash? Who knows? Like I said, all the details are still pretty unclear. I'm pretty excited to see what actually happens. And, there's a plan, and we're going to be getting some multiverse. Where is it going to go? I don't know. You comment down below. What do you think is actually happening with Michael Keaton? Do you want the Burtonverse to continue, or would you want him to come in and replace the main Batman that would be on screen with Henry Cavill? But I really don't see that being the reality. I think they're going to embrace multiverse and let Michael Keaton stand on his own in his own timeline. So with all that Flashpoint news out of the way, let's talk about the Justice League teaser that came out just the other day on June 18th, so 4 days ago now. We got a quick 30-second tease, kind of out of nowhere. Jason Momoa drops it down on Instagram. Zach hops in. He drops it on Twitter. And off the gate, we've got everything in this to separate it from the theatrical Justice League. We've got music from Junkie XL, the Men Are Still Good score, completely new scenes that we've seen pictures of over the years of Diana in this mural room, looking at the stuff of Darkseid. The big mural of Darkseid that paints the history lesson of what we get. So where does this take place in the movie? Don't really know. Does Hippolyta still shoot the arrow that Diana finds to know that, oh shit, the invasion is coming? Don't know. We don't have a lot of context, but we know that this was different. To me, it's amazing just on a production value level. The difference between this mural room, what they did, and Diana's acting, or Gal's acting, Diana has gone toe to toe with Doomsday and Ares and everything in between. cheetah, whatever. And she looks legit terrified of Darkseid, and that is awesome. But to see this room compared to the little wall drawings in the village of the theatrical cut, it's such a huge difference in the production value. I mean, it's laughable. It's laughable how different it is. And we end the trailer, the teaser, with a shot of Darkseid, the original shot of Darkseid in the ancient battle that we're going to be seeing. A whole lot of other stuff in that fight. That scene, I mean, was cut down to like 2.5, 3 minutes with Steppenwolf, and that was originally going to be something like a 15 to 20 minute long, huge fight with Thanagarians, possibly Supergirl. We've got the Green Lanterns, the New Gods, and Antiope, who was completely cut out. Amazon's Atlanteans. It was going to be a huge battle like Lord of the Rings, and we've known that for a long time. I remember talking about that back in 2016. Craziness. So everything to set itself apart. This was a great tease. And when will we be getting this whole trailer? It's sounding like it's probably going to be the DC fandom event. That's going to be August 22nd. So 2 whole months from now, that's an eternity waiting for the trailer. So, and that event is going to be having all sorts of stuff from comics, games, the TV shows, multiverse stuff maybe. Zack Snyder's Justice League, he's going to have a panel. And I imagine then we're going to get the full trailer. I know that the Nerd Queens on Twitter are going to be hosting Justice Con next month, which is also going to have Ray Porter, Jay Oliva, the storyboard artist, and Zach on to do a panel. While that is a month before DC Fandom, I'm sure he will drop something. I'm not convinced that he will drop the full trailer a month ahead of the big headliner event that DC and Warner Brothers are trying to do, but it's possible. That'd be cool if we get it a month early. I'm sure we will get something then. So, I mean, we're back in 2016. We've got all sorts of crazy DC movie news going on. Where is it going to go? What is Flashpoint going to do? I'm excited for Justice League, whatever's going to be happening with that. It sounds like they have been given the go to resume production on film and TV back in California. So he could be getting the ball rolling on the post-production right now that VFX houses are allowed to start going back to work. I know that Debbie and Zach really wanted to help people get to work as well, because there hasn't been anything filming. Nothing has been getting worked on. So this is something that actually provides a lot of work for those VFX houses out there in California and all over. So what do you make of this Flashpoint news? How are you excited for Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Michael Keaton, Ray Fisher? That's what I'm pumped for that. I love Ray Fisher. Even in his reshoots, I think he was the best part of Justice League, and I can't wait to see his whole expanded role in Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's going to be incredible. So also, what do you think of this teaser? And for those wondering, this teaser was cropped down to an aspect ratio just for social media. This isn't what it's going to look like. Just thought I'd throw that in there. It's going to be bigger. We'll see it when an official trailer is dropped, not on like Instagram, because this isn't even in 1080p or whatever. But what do you guys think? I'm excited. Comment your thoughts down below. I'll see you guys on the next video.